Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So we are gonna jump right into this Halloween set. It is a shorties set. So I know y'all are feeling the shorties. I don't know what it is, but my shorties, like when I do short nails, those videos get like the most views for some reason. So I don't know if I really think it's because a lot of people don't do shorties on YouTube. Like a lot of the nail techs that we like to watch don't really do too many shorties. So I'm guessing that's why. I don't really know, but we are going to be doing this really cute Halloween shorty set. She came in with an inspo pic, and this is by, I think her name is Gabby Hodges. When she first sent me this picture, I was like panicking inside because I don't draw a lot. If y'all have noticed, none of my videos really have any artwork, mainly because I can't draw, y'all. So take it from me, I got through this set. So if you are not someone who is really experienced with drawing, this is a super easy tutorial on how to get a spooky set. So stay tuned. So I did skip a little bit of the prep in this video, and the only reason I did that was to cut down time, and I only did it as well because she didn't actually need the extra cuticle work. Her cuticles were already pretty much pushed back. They were really clean. So I didn't necessarily have to do it. However, I do not recommend skipping any prep work. I always recommend that you tidy up the cuticle area. It makes for a flawless finish, and it just looks better overall when you're taking pictures or videos at the end of their nails. But for this set right here, I did go ahead and skip it, which I usually don't, just to lessen the time, as well as, you know, because she didn't need it. So I just went straight into taking off the shine of her natural nail and then placing the tips on, and then I am just gonna blend the tips in with the natural nail, and these tips are by 876 2XL square tips. I know she wanted them really short, so when I saw like how long they were, I asked her, do you want me to cut these down like just a little bit more? And she was like, yeah, can you cut them down a little bit more? Because I know when she first messaged me on Facebook, she actually asked for the set to look like the picture, but she wanted them to be super short. So I knew that the first length that I cut it to was going to be too long for her. So I just asked her, because sometimes the clients will not say anything to you. So you just want to make sure that you're asking them along the way, like what they want, how they want it, just to be sure, because sometimes they will not speak up, or sometimes they'll just not notice what you're doing until you're done. So I always make sure as we're going to ask them, you know, do you like this? Do you like this length? Do you like this design, this color, this shape? Like, just make sure that you're asking them, because you do not want that client that's going to text you or message you when they're gone, way after the fact, when this whole set is done, and tell you that they don't like something. So just double check throughout the whole session. My application was not the best today, and honestly, I don't know what it is. It does not matter like how good I get. The first hand is always like raggedy, and then when I get to the second hand, which I'm never filming, it's like perfect application. So at the end of this little snippet, when we get to the thumb, I am going to show you all. I don't even know if I recorded the thumb, because a lot of the frames that I had for the thumb were out of frame. So when we get to the last little bit of my application for this hand, I am going to show you how my application really is when I'm actually doing it correctly on the other hand, and that will be on the pointer finger. But for now, I'm going to let you guys just watch the application, and I will be back in when we get to the filing and shaping of the nails. This client actually had very wide nail beds, so it was a little tricky applying the acrylic the way that I normally do, and as quick as I normally do with the nails being this short. However, I made it happen. So what I mean by that is her nail beds are wider than the average size nail beds, and if you can just imagine what a 3 or a size 2 tip looks like, those were being used on her middle finger, her ring fingers, and her pointer fingers. I think her pointer finger took a size 3 or 4 if I'm not mistaken, and then her middle finger and her ring fingers took a size 3, I believe. So that's a little wider than the average. Usually your middle fingers and ring fingers will take a size 4 or 5. But it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has different size nail beds. I just wanted to point that out because sometimes it will kind of throw you off if you are a beginner tech, and it will kind of mess up your application process if you're not used to working with wider nail beds. So I just want to point that out so that you all could see the difference if you were noticing the difference at all. But I definitely had a little bit of trouble. Once I got the hang of it, I was just rolling through all the nails. So So this is what I was talking about earlier as far as how to really apply the acrylic. So when you're doing shorties, this is the easiest way to apply the acrylic, is going sideways. Put your brush at a sideways angle, and that's going to enable your bead to kind of spread upwards and downwards, like be more elongated, if that makes sense, to cover more area of your nail or more space. So that is what I do. That is what I try to do. If I remember, usually on the first hand, I never remember to do it that way. And I would just, place my bead the normal way that you usually see people place beads. However, I feel like that way works better for longer nails. I hope you guys know what difference I'm talking about. But for this hand, I did place all of my beads sideways, going up and downwards, and that covered the majority of the nail, and the rest was just me molding it to the nail basically. And I also feel like this way allows me to not waste as much product. I don't know, it's just, it could be in my head, you guys. I don't know, it just helps me do it this way versus the other way when I'm working with shorties, and I feel like it's just a quicker application. So this is the way I suggest that you do your application for shorties. You want to make sure that you are constantly wiping your sidewalls, making sure that you are keeping your shape as you go so that you do not have to do any excessive filing at the end. You also want to make sure that you are cleaning up your cuticle area and not flooding your cuticle. If you do flood your cuticle, make sure that you are wiping it away to make sure that no acrylic is getting stuck to the skin, because that will cause lifting. So we're going ahead and we are getting into the filing. The first thing that I do usually is bring the file upwards from underneath the nail. What I mean by that is I go underneath the nail and then I just like naturally kind of bring it up on the sides underneath, and then I will bring it up straight toward the sides. So I don't it's so hard to explain it. That's why I like to sometimes just be quiet and let you guys watch the video so that you can kind of see what I'm doing. I feel like when I watch nail tutorials, even though they explain it with doing a voiceover, sometimes it's really just better to watch. I'm very much a visual learner and someone who has to watch something and then practice it myself to get it. Just talking to me and telling me to do something is not going to help me figure out how to do it. I actually need to see it. So a lot of the times things that I try to explain in these videos may not come out right. So it is vital that you just watch what I'm doing, because like I said, I go underneath the nail and then I slowly like turn my file to go straight up and down the nail on the sides. And I hope that makes sense, and I hope you guys saw what I was talking about. But that's how I do my filing. That's how I get a really crisp shape, and I will show you a little bit more on how I get a really, really nice square shape on my nails towards the end. Once I'm done filing on the sides of the nails, I will go in with my 5-in-1 bit and I will just clean up the cuticle area. This did not need much cleaning up. I did also take the drill bit, the 5-in-1 drill bit, and go across my nail just to smooth everything out. This is either a medium or a fine coarse bit. At this point, if it is a medium, it's definitely a fine bit because I've had this bit for forever and I still use it. I also wanted to show you guys just how I move the skin from the sides of the nail, and I make sure that I get in there and I'm getting any acrylic that is sticking out on the sides. I just want everything to be really flush to the nail and look really, really natural. So there are just a few steps that you really need to pay attention to when doing nails to make it look really natural. Don't get too bulky on short nails. There's really no need to, because I promise you, as long as they have a decent layer of acrylic on the nails for shorties, they will be fine. They're not going to break. I've never ever had anybody break a shorty. I've never had anybody break a shorty. It's just they're too short. There's not too much need for tremendous balance, because there's nothing to balance, if that makes sense. So anyways, yeah, but make sure that you're still in the cuticles, make sure that your shape is crisp, make sure that you're using 80/80 grit files. That is key to a really nice shape when you are looking for a crisp square. Always make sure that you are filing this way. I always recommend that you turn their hands to face towards you so that you can see the profile that they will see. This ensures that everything is straight and their tips of the nail are not crooked, because that is a thing when you are just filing, face forward. Sometimes they can be crooked. So I always file this way to make sure that everything is neat and clean and very crisp, and everything is straight and aligned and even. A lot of the times I will have like one side of the nail be like higher than the other, or it will be tilted. So this is just to ensure that everything looks good, y'all. I promise you, you will not regret doing it. It is a step that I always do. I don't think there's any time now lately since I've been doing it that I have missed that step. If I do, I will kick myself in the butt for it. But yeah, always do that. If you want to go back and file this way, you can, just to make sure that everything is super crisp and neat. And then we are going to go over the nails with a a little buffer. This is a buffer that I got from Shein. I love these little pink buffers. I don't know what the grit is on it. It has one side of it that has a coarse grit, and then the other side is like a smoothing side. So I love these things. Like, I love them. I have to order more. I think I put more in my cart. They do have them on, they're on Shein. I don't know if they have them on Temu, but I do have a discount code for Temu in my description box. I do not have a discount code for Shein, however. But yeah, that's what I use, and it comes out bomb. And I don't need to do any excessive filing like with the 80/80 grit, just because the nails were already pretty smooth from the foundation that I laid with the application. And also I went over my nails with the 5-in-1 drill bit, and that made everything smooth as well before I even went in with the buffer. So just be sure that you are laying a really nice application, and I promise you your filing will be like 5 minutes tops, if that. Finally, the fun part, you guys. We're getting into the nail art, and as I was doing the nail art, it was easier than what I thought. So don't overthink it. Just look at the picture. I actually had the picture sitting beside me on my son's phone, and I was looking at it as I went. So that helped a lot. I cannot just look at a picture and then remember it and go ahead and freehand. I'm not that talented yet. So I do have to have a picture sitting next to me. A lot of people will prop up an iPad or whatever they have next to them, an extra phone, and have the picture sitting there while they are drawing. So that is what I did, and it helped tremendously. The first nail that we did was the pinky, which we just kept a base matte black. We pretty much just went off of the picture to the T. We didn't change anything in her nails. I don't think anything was different other than a few mistakes that I made, which I will get to that in a second. If you notice any mistakes that I make while going along and I don't say, I'm going to tell you guys at the end. I'm going to tell you guys at the very, very end what mistakes I made. If you find the mistakes that I made, go ahead and comment down below which ones they are. There are two for sure that I can tell you I noticed running the videos back and looking at them like on Instagram after I had posted on Instagram. I was like, oh my gosh, I did not do that. So I definitely made two mistakes. One of them is like very noticeable. Three. I made three mistakes. One of them is super noticeable. The other two are not that noticeable, but I'll definitely tell you guys what it is. And one of the mistakes I'm actually doing right now. So if you if you can tell what the mistake is, comment down below what it is real quick. So the first mistake that I made, I can't hold out, y'all. I'm just going to tell y'all. The first mistake that I made was the eyes on like the caution body tape, whatever thing that I just did on the last picture. I mean, on the last finger. I didn't put the little white dots in the eyes. Like, the eyes are black, but I was supposed to add little white dots. And the second mistake I'm actually working on right now. So if y'all catch it, let me know down below, and I'm gonna come back in a few seconds and see if y'all got it right and tell y'all what the mistake was. Okay, so did y'all catch it, or did y'all catch it? So the second thing that I messed up on was the spider, you guys. I put the web on the wrong side of the body. The web is supposed to be coming from the biggest part of their body, not their head. So I definitely messed up on that, and I was just not thinking it's supposed to be like they're hanging from the web. And I don't feel like anybody would catch that unless I pointed it out. But I was looking at her picture and then I looked at mine and I was like, wait, that is not how the spider is supposed to be. Like, the spider is upside down at this point. So, or actually, he was right side up. He wasn't even upside down. So, yeah, I messed up on that too. And there's going to be one more mess up that I do. And y'all will catch this one at the very end. But I'll tell y'all when I show it at the end in the video, when the video is over. That one wasn't too big of a mess up. It was more so I should have done one like the other, if that makes sense. Once I got to the other hand, I did it a little differently. So they did look kind of different at the end. However, you would never notice that if you saw her in person unless she put the fingers side by side. Overall, the nail art was pretty easy, to be honest. I think when I first looked at the picture, I was just overwhelmed seeing all of the nail art all at once, just because it was literally on every nail except for the pinky. And I don't know, I just don't draw, so it was very overwhelming. But it was super easy at the end of the day, and I'm so glad that she came in with that inspo pick to kind of challenge me. And I can't wait to do more Halloween sets. I was kind of like on the wary side of not doing Halloween sets, you guys, because I can't draw. But anyway, we're going ahead and top coating the nails with some matte top coat by Beetles. You can find that on Amazon, and is also linked in my Amazon storefront. Super, super great matte top coat and super cheap, you guys. So definitely affordable. And this is the end result of the nails, you guys. I actually did not record the last mistake. However, it was the thumb. This thumb right here was perfect. The other thumb was not as bold. Like, the black lines were not as bold, so they did look a little different. And I also would recommend using a tiny liner brush for those lines versus a long liner brush. But she loved her nails, and so did I. And I am so glad that we did this set, and I can't wait to do some more Halloween sets for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all in the next one. I love you so much. Mwah. Bye.